Everyone keeps telling you the best time to invest is now, but what if I told you that starting too early without the right foundation is putting you at greater risk? It's the difference between ending up in debt or building lasting wealth. Today, we're talking about the one thing you need to master first before you even touch stocks, insurance, real estate, and it's not what most Filipinos expect. First, we need to talk about the problem that nobody talks about enough when it comes to investing. Because the real reason why most Filipinos fail at investing isn't the lack of knowledge, it's the missing foundation. Because when it comes to knowledge, you can easily watch YouTube videos now, search what kind of investment to take, how to start it. The step-by-step could be given to you by ChatGPT if you wanted to. But how come there's still Filipinos who struggle with it, who end up in debt because of starting an investment that ended up failing? And it's because of the missing foundation. And that foundation is the solid habit of saving consistently. Let me tell you what happens when you invest without mastering the saving habit first. Because I see it all the time when it comes to you might invest in stocks, but then you end up panic selling it at a loss because you need the money for emergency. Or you might start an insurance policy but you might withdraw it too early, or hindi mo kayang sustain yung monthly, quarterly payments, so masasayang lang yung payment mo if you cancel it too early. Or you might reserve a property. You might end up doing a down payment, but then you're not able to sustain the monthly home loan payments, the monthly amortization payments. Because when you look at all of these investments, they have one thing in common. They require consistency for you to set aside funds monthly. And if you can't do that with saving, like setting aside a consistent amount to save every month that you don't touch, it's gonna be the same when it comes to investing. Another example, if you're an impulsive buyer, you might end up being impulsive with investments too. You might dive into an investment because everyone else is doing it, or there's a FOMO, you feel left behind, you feel there's pressure to invest na because at your age you should have done it by now, and then in the end you realize you did it too early, and then you might end up in debt. And this is not hypothetical at all. I've seen it time and time again with coaching clients wherein they come to me for help when they've realized my investments became liabilities, became debts because I didn't have the proper money habits in place. Bottom line, you can only invest consistently when you've already mastered saving consistently. I want you to realize as early as now that saving consistently is a habit you cannot skip, because it's the same discipline that you will carry with you when you invest consistently for your investments to grow over time. Take for example like stocks and mutual funds. In order for those to grow, you need to contribute monthly and regularly. For a real estate property, you need to commit to monthly amortization payments for the next 10 to 20 years. Same thing with an insurance, whether you're doing it for your retirement, for your protection, for your health, for your family. If you withdraw it too prematurely, it's not gonna give you the same benefits. Here's a quick test for you. If you struggle to set aside a consistent amount towards your savings for 3 months, for 6 months, for 1 year, okay, like if you end up dipping into it, touching your savings, then it means that this is the habit that you need to focus on first instead of diving into investing when that may end up putting you at greater risk. And a good starting point to build this habit is building a solid emergency fund worth 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. When you're able to complete that, you've likely already built the discipline and therefore prepares you to have that foundation for you to start investing already. And again, this is not just a theory, I've lived it, because building the habit of saving consistently prepared me to invest consistently in the stock market also. My portfolio has now grown over to 500,000 pesos in value, and it all started with managing my one income stream with the proper money habits in place. In the same way, I've invested in a real estate property and I'm covering the monthly amortization payments for that for like so many years, and I am prepared and I'm confident that when the home loan comes, I'll be able to sustain those payments as well. In the same way, I've had the same insurance policy and I know I'll be able to maintain it until my retirement because I already have a proper habit in place. I already have discipline that I can set aside funds that I don't touch. If at this point you realize that saving consistently is the habit that you need to master first, then make sure you join my email list where I send you weekly financial tips on how I built my first million savings with just one income stream. You'll also be notified first when I have free live trainings coming up, which is very soon. So make sure you sign up for my email list and I'll see you in your inbox. Now let's dive into the questions you could ask yourself to know when you're ready to start investing to make sure that it is the right time for you. Because the timing is just as important to make sure that when you start investing, it builds into lasting wealth, not into liabilities. Okay, let's dive into the when, what, and the how. For when, have you already built a solid savings habit and have a fully funded emergency fund? This should be your benchmark. This is your green light that tells you you're ready. Like when you start investing, you're gonna sustain it with confidence. Instead of investing because of peer pressure, because of your age, because there's this trending investment that if you don't start now, you're going to fall behind. As I say, you're going to fall farther behind. You're going to be even more anxious if you start investing too early without the right foundation in place. Moving on to the what. Do you have a clear purpose or intention behind that investment? I love bringing this up for my clients because I notice that if you have vague reasons, it will lead to a vague commitment. You will easily give up on it, or you'll easily feel like, why am I doing this? Like, it feels like such a burden when I could just spend it instead, when I could just enjoy that money instead. So don't invest for the sake of, I just want to grow my money. I just want to put my money where it's not just sleeping. It's not just sitting in my bank account. That's vague. You have to be so clear on your purpose. Like for me, I know that I'm investing in stocks for the long term for my retirement, to prepare me for my old age, to know that I can be self-sufficient during my 60s and beyond. Or when my husband and I decided to invest in a property, we know that it's gonna be our forever home. So those are our considerations when it came to finding the right property for us. So every time I see that this amount of money needs to go to our savings to prepare for the property turnover, or like when I see that I've automated this amount every month towards investing in stocks and mutual funds, like I know like it's going somewhere tangible. It's not just setting aside money for investments for the sake of I just want to grow my money. Like I know there is a clear purpose behind it, and that makes it exciting and empowering instead of something that I just have to do to be financially responsible. Like if you want to actually sustain your investments, you need to be excited about it. You know that there is a clear result or outcome from that. Moving on to the how, can your monthly cash flow consistently cover this investment without feeling deprived? It's not just a feeling na parang kaya naman, parang pwede naman. I think I'm earning this much, so I'll be able to cover it. No. Like it has to be so clear. The math breakdown of your cash flow, you're so clear like X percentage from your cash flow is gonna go into that, and you know that it's not gonna sacrifice the things that you love, the things that you enjoy. Like when you make this property down payment, it's not gonna sacrifice, let's say, traveling every year that you enjoy with your loved ones, or it's not gonna sacrifice going on your weekly solo dates that are valuable to you. Like those are the things that you have to weigh in. It's not just a matter of parang kaya naman ng income ko, okay, and then when you dive into it, when you start paying it for years, you're like, oh my gosh, pagod na ako, parang di ako kapag-enjoy, I feel like I'm just paying bills. Like you don't want to feel that way. For me, what was important was that we're still able to travel every year while paying for this property. Another example was I didn't want to sacrifice my weekly going out budget. May it be my solo dates or dates with my husband or like dates with loved ones. So I put that into consideration so that I know how much am I really willing to set aside for years to pay for this property, as well as cover the investment monthly that I needed for my stocks and mutual funds for my retirement. Because my personal philosophy is having that healthy balance wherein you get to enjoy your life in the present while feeling secure about your future goals. You don't want it to be at an extreme. You don't want it to be like, sobra ka naman nag-enjoy in the present, to spend here, travel here, and then you don't have a solid savings fund, or you're not thinking about protecting your future self, Or the other way around is you don't want to be so focused on the future that you feel so deprived at the present. You're thinking about, okay, I want to save 50% of my income, put it towards investments, and then whatever is left, basta may pambayad ako ng bills, okay lang, kahit di ako lumalabas, kahit I can't treat myself, okay lang, kasi at least my future is secured and all of that. Like, is that really enjoying life? Is that really enjoying your hard-earned money when you're too focused on the future that you lose sight of the thing in front of you, the present moments with yourself, with your loved ones, with the fruits of your labor? And so for me, those questions that I shared earlier, it allows you to balance that. That you know that I'm not depriving myself of the present, but at the same time, I know I am contributing monthly towards my future goals and my future self. Now I want to share with you examples from my clients I've helped through this process so that you know how does it look like when you get it right. A great example is my client Sabi, whom I just interviewed on my YouTube channel here, so you can check that out for her full story. But in summary, she went from being this person who was such a big spender. She didn't really think about budgeting. She didn't think about setting aside savings for the future. She just thought about how can I enjoy now. But after I helped her with building a system, that habit to save consistently, she was able to complete her emergency fund. She was able to build a travel fund that allowed her to fully fund her Europe trip. And that gave her the confidence that I am now ready to build an investment fund. She's an example of, like, even if you feel like you're a constant overspender, a chronic shopaholic, or someone who constantly doesn't want to budget or so scared to look at numbers on a spreadsheet, it's actually possible to still build that saving habit that prepares you to build your investment fund for your future. Another example is my client Fatima. She came to me carrying this burden of guilt and anxiety around, am I saving enough? Am I earning enough? Am I securing my future enough? And so after guiding her with having more clarity on her goals and overcoming that guilt around spending on herself, and also being able to still treat the people that she loves, like we were able to find the right balance with her cash flow. We allocated it properly in a way that she was able to book the Taylor Swift concert in Japan, and then at the same time be able to finally invest in the lot property that she had been eyeing for so long. She finally found the courage to do that, because for the longest time she was so scared, if kaya niya ba, or like, is her income really enough? So ultimately, having that proper foundation of savings and laying down all the numbers, breaking it down according to her situation and her goals, she was able to balance enjoying life at the present and also securing her future goals, which is that lot of property that she wanted to invest in. If there's anything I want you to take away and inculcate in your brain after this video, is that saving and investing aren't competing priorities, because saving is what makes investing possible. Because when you build the saving habit first, investing stops feeling scary and it becomes a natural next step that you can do, because you have proven to yourself that you can be consistent. So if you're ready to prioritize building consistent savings so that you could build a proper financial foundation that would make investing possible, then I would love to invite you inside my coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. This is where I'll personally help you with custom reviews and weekly accountability to triple your monthly savings in the next 60 days so you could finally fund your major life milestones with just one income stream. Check the link in my bio for all the details on how you can join, and I would love to coach you next. And if you're still wondering if this is the right fit for you, then just DM me on Instagram. I personally respond to every single message so that I can help you assess if this coaching program is the right next step for you. And if you're at the place where you're struggling to save consistently despite earning well, check this next YouTube video for more tips, and I will see you there.